Hello and welcome to part 3 of the 20 worst alternative songs of the 2000s. Starring me, Lex, the guy who dicks on things who deserve to be dicked on. I got my dick mug full of beer, got some more beers behind me, so let's get this show on the road.
Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. I close my eyes, begin to pray, then tears of joy stream down my face.
Question for you. What do you get if you kill Eddie Vedder, bury him, dig him up about a month later, piss repeatedly into his dead mouth, and then hump his belly button and record the mushy sounds that his corpse makes? The answer, of course, is Scott Stapp, frontman of the shitty band Creed. Creed are basically the argument for why rock and roll is deader than my boner was watching One Night in Paris. They're the definition of butt rock. They paved the way for Nickelback and all the shit like that that came in their wake. It doesn't help that they're kind of Christian, so a lot of their lyrics are really sort of wishy-washy stuff about praise and good old Jesus. And just their songs are boring. Really, really boring. Really boring. This song in particular is a fucking dirge. And it's a dirge that's been viewed 20 million times on YouTube. 20 fucking million people. Well, it might be the same person watching it 20 million times, I guess. That's 20 million, 60 million minutes worth of shit. The mind boggles. But anyway, so Creed, American radio rock band. Kind of Christian, although don't really practice what they preach. And if we are honest, Scott Stapp kind of does think he's Jesus. But he's Jesus who gets blown by groupies backstage with Kid Rock while someone's filming it. Apparently, allegedly that tape exists. Why that tape exists, nobody wants to know. Look at his little earnest face. Look at Scotty's little earnest face while he's, doing all these poses and messianic archetype shit in his yellow coat. The concept of this video seems to be Scott Stapp is Jesus. He sounds like a fucking dugong being bombed. It's like some sailor got really drunk in the Caribbean in fucking whenever pirates were around, the 18-somethings, I don't know, 1754? Fuck knows. Some sailor got really drunk, thought that a fucking manatee was a mermaid, jumped in the water, started fucking its blowhole frenziedly, and that's the noise it made. The noise of Scott Stapp singing. Just, there is nothing likeable about this guy. There is nothing likeable about this band. It doesn't rock at all. There is not an ounce of rock. There's not even pebble in it or gravel. It's fucking dust. It's dust and roll. Dust and roll. Fuck Creed. The only thing that I want to see open is Scott Stapp's fucking skull after someone bashes him in the head with that fucking shitty string section. Next!
I didn't do, but I continue learning. I never meant to do those things to you, and so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know.
So this wet cum fart of the song is Hoobastank's biggest hit, The Reason. Now, Hoobastank started off as a sort of upbeat, poppy rock band. Probably most famous initially because their lead singer, Doug Robb, is related to Brandon Boyd, who is the singer from Incubus. Now, Incubus were a fairly big band in the mid-2000s, released some pretty good tracks. Hoobastank kind of rode along on the coattails of them, a bit like Edema did with Korn. And like I said, this was their biggest hit. This was after they'd done the more upbeat, up-tempo, poppy rock stuff. And it's just a wishy-washy mishmash of nothing. It's boring and sentimental and fucking dull. Lyrically, it's just simple paint-by-numbers bullshit. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do. Which, oh my god, really? Fucking hell. That's lyrics now? That's what you put as lyrics. This is basically the fucking soundtrack to someone's fan-made YouTube video of some Glee cast members celebrating their relationship. It's fucking turgid, man. The chorus is fucking awful as well. Honestly, how do you go from this which admittedly isn't the hardest edge song ever written, but it's a perfectly likeable, disposable piece of pop rock distraction. And you know, Running Away is not going to win any awards or, you know, be the most meaningful song you've ever listened to, but it's a pretty pleasant listen for its couple of minutes running time. And then they go and they do The Reason, and it's just garbage, utter garbage. And of course, because The Reason became a big hit, that's what they started doing more and more of. Notably, they never had another hit afterwards. Flash in the pan thing for them. But, you know, not really surprising when the main hook of your song is I found a reason to be It's just poo. Total and utter poo. And it never moves out of that first gear for the entirety of the song. It's that plodding melody the whole way through, and it tries to be all soaring and euphoric and just misses the mark. Bland instrumentation, vocals just this side of being a drone. It could be a tribute to Creed, really. And anything that could be a tribute to Creed needs to get in the fucking sea. No, Doug. The only reason that you've given me is a reason to punch you in the fucking dick. Next!
Welcome to San Quentin. We're all excited you're here, staff and inmates alike. One thing I do have to tell you before you enter, the state has a no hostage policy. In the unlikely event that you are taken hostage, the state will not negotiate your release in exchange for the release of an inmate. Agree with that?
It's been 12 fucking years. 12 fucking years since this song came out. And I still can't get my head around how fucking shit that snare drum sounds. Fuck! They were recording this, and at some point they played it back, and then they did the mixing and things, and they were like, yeah, this is how we want our drums to sound! Like fucking hollow biscuit tins being beaten by a baboon! To be fair, a baboon is probably a better drummer than Lars Ulrich, but that's besides the point. This is the point where Metallica just squandered everything that had made them good. Everything. I mean, you watch the documentary Some Kind of Monster and you can kind of see why they've gone a bit fucking loopy. Because, you know, you've got Lars Ulrich, who's an aggressive little jumped up fuck, who doesn't really know shit about anything. You've got James Hetfield, who'd just gone through rehab and shit like that, and is the most passive-aggressive douchebag in the world. You've got Kirk Hammett, who is just passive. He's like a fucking piece of smoke. He just sits there and just watches with this beatific smile as everyone just kicks off and goes to shit around him. I mean, the band by this point was so fucking internally fucked that Jason Newsted just went, fuck this, and left. He left Metallica, the biggest band on the planet, because Metallica had turned into complete fuckheads. That's how bad it had got. So they rope in Rob Trujillo, who was Ozzy's bassist and was in Suicidal Tendencies, and they produced just an album of unmitigated shit. St. Anger is the worst thrash album ever recorded, and that's including some of the really terrible thrash bands and terrible thrash albums you could name. It's also just, in general, it's just one of the worst albums of that decade. The mixing is awful, the structure of the songs is awful, the lyrics are fucking diabolical. I mean, you listen to St. Anger now, and it's fucking meaningless. Fuck, man. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I'm madly in anger with you. Well, if you're madly something, that means you're probably angry to a degree. And I get it's a play on I'm madly in love with you, but it's poo. It's a poo, garbage, fucking contents of a fucking jockstrap left out in the sun for 3 days lyric. It's fucking appalling. And that's their main hook. And remember, kids, this is the song where Metallica, who were known for having really brilliant guitar solos and fantastic guitar work, decided no solos. So, Metallica, who were once known for things like this, which has still got to be up there in the top 5 musical, melodic, instrumental interludes in any song ever. Gorgeous piece of music. They went from that to this.
You flush it out, you flush it out. Tango around my neck. You flush it out, you flush it out. He never gets respect. You flush it out, you flush it out. Tango around my neck. You flush it out, you flush it out. He never gets respect. Fuck it on, no regrets. I hit the lights on these dark sets. I need a voice to let myself go free. Fuck it all, fucking no regrets. I hit the lights on these dark sets. Medallion news, I hang myself, saying anger around my neck. I feel my world shake like an earthquake. Hard to see clear. Is it me? Is it fear? I'm madly in anger with you. I'm madly in anger with you.
Of course, as shit as this is, it's still not Metallica's lowest point. That would come a few years later, when James Hetfield insisted on telling us, "I am the table."
I am the table. I am the table. I am the table. I am the table. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I heard you're doing okay, but I want you to know I'm addicted to you. I can't pretend I don't care when you don't think about me. Do you think I deserve this?
Remember how I said that my boner was dead as a result of Creed resembling One Night in Paris? Well, if Creed a One Night in Paris, Simple Plan a One Night in China, watching X-Pac gurning while getting shit on his dick from fucking a woman up the arse who looks more manly than he does. Simple Plan are the antithesis of punk. They were ostensibly called pop punk because that was the kind of genre they were going for. You can blame various bands for this: Blink-182, Green Day, The Offspring, for making popular this kind of saturated version of punk. And I suppose Simple Plan were the natural end point of that. The lowest point. They're not scraping the bottom of the barrel, they're through the barrel and they're digging their way to China right now. This is so not punk, it hurts. Pierre Bouvier is possibly the worst vocalist I've ever heard. Nasal, whiny, just dripping with wet douchery. And you can tell from the video here, they're all relatively old, and yet they're singing like they're 13 years old, singing to some fucking girlfriend they had at some point. Just a terrible fucking song. Just listen to this fucking fuckery.
I'm trying to forget that I'm addicted to you, but I want it and I need it. I'm addicted to you. Now it's over. Can't forget what you said, and I never wanna do this again. Heartbreaker.
I mean, he dresses like a metrosexual rapist or that sort of pedo uncle that you don't invite to Christmas parties. And his voice is excruciating. I mean, heartbreaker, heartbreaker. See, I have to proper push my voice to the limits to get it to the nasal, whiny tones that this Canadian clown shoe uses. It's generic punk by numbers of that sort of era. So there's nothing to it. It's 3-chord dickbaggery nonsense in baggy shorts, and it fucking makes me angry because so many people listen to this, and I expect some of you still probably listen to this bullshit. Why? Why do you listen to this? This isn't even good for aiming at 8-year-olds. It's fucking paint by numbers bollocks with one of the worst voices in music. Simple Plan can just fuck off as far as I'm concerned. They're out of the club. Go and support Busted on tour. Do some fucking... That's how angry they make me. I can't even get words out. I need to be drunker. If you'd completely forgotten about the existence of this band, then I apologise for bringing them back into your consciousness. But this right here is dreary fuck bitch Preston and his band The Ordinary Boys. Now Preston is Z-list tabloid fodder from the mid-2000s and a Celebrity Big Brother alumni. Air quotes over the word celebrity there, because these guys were fucking terrible. Ostensibly influenced by things like ska and, you know, The Clash and stuff like that. They managed to take everything that you could say that was good about those kinds of music and beat the fuck out of them in a back alley until there was nothing left of them, and they just sucked balls. So much balls. This song is called Seaside and is about going to the seaside. That's how fucking deep and meaningful it is. There's a reason you probably forgot about these guys. Preston is most famous now for walking out of Nevermind the Buzzcocks when Simon Amstel started reading from his wife's autobiography. His wife, Chantel, who was the non-celebrity cast member of Celebrity Big Brother, who Preston then married. It's such a bullshit story, but it's true. But yeah, so this song is just gash. It's trying to be pretentious and worthy and mean something really deep and meaningful, you know. Yeah, you should put down your smartphones and put down your tablets and go to the seaside. But all it comes across as is this hipster-looking fuck lecturing you. Fuck off, man. Just fuck off.
Not gonna wait for the weekend. Step outside. Hurry up, put your shoes on. Stepping out tonight. The seaside needs us more than ever. Whoa.
I mean, let's face it, that's the kind of fuckmon chorus that appeals to some fucking ball-bag douche lord in a fedora with like a hipster moustache who hangs around in clubs and just stares at pretty girls and then wonders why people think he's a fucking rapist. It's just trying to be so... we have something to say and what we're saying is really important. And he's saying, hurry up, put your shoes on. And then, the seaside needs us more than ever. Just fucking go to the seaside and jump off a fucking cliff. Please, just jump off a cliff. Take all your instruments with you as well. Just fuck off and die.
Because you are so fucking shit that all you are doing is making my brain pulse with incandescent rage that you even had anything approach a career. Your music sucks. You wank. Completely fucking wank. And the only thing that you could do to ensure that you had a career was to fuck some bird on Celebrity Big Brother. And then you parlayed that into being in Heat magazine for a couple of years, and then mercifully disappeared. Just fuck yourself. You are everything wrong with the music industry. You stupid, seeping, cretinous cunt. Even Morrissey himself would punch you in the fucking throat for that god-awful xylophone solo. Fuck you. Top 5 next, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time on Lex Dixon, where Lex Dixon dicks like Preston from the fucking Ordinary Boys.